Okay, everybody, welcome in. Come on in. Get comfortable. I'm pulling up the chat room now. Is it Franklus? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but yeah, hey, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Just getting started tonight. The crowd will join us momentarily if the notifications are working. I'm a few minutes early. All right, but we are on, we are live. This is Starship Adventures. My name's Ian, and tonight we're going to be continuing our coverage of Hurricane Erin, the storms behind Hurricane Erin, as well as breaking news across the country and severe weather across the country as well. There's a lot going on tonight, but the big story, of course, is the hurricane. There's also some severe weather in Canada we're going to be watching as well. All right, on the big board tonight. Hey, Billy. Thanks for coming in. Tonight on the big board, we're just keeping an eye out in New Orleans, Bourbon Street. No particular reason. I'll probably switch that one out as time goes on, but we're just keeping an eye there to see what goes on right there at the big intersection, right there on Bourbon Street. And in the middle, we've got the Hurricane Watch. This is a rolling set of cameras from across the near the Outer Banks, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. And we are just keeping an eye on our beach fronts to see what's coming in as this storm makes its closest pass here in about 4 or 5 hours. That guy stole a menu from the restaurant. Oh no, he probably works there. Anyway, and the upper right, redistricting protest going on in Austin, Texas, which, as you guys know, anybody that lived in the 80s thinks that Dallas is the capital of Texas, but no, it's Austin. And I'm sure you got that reference. Anyway, so in Austin, Texas, they are protesting inside their rotunda there, and they are protesting the Republicans redistricting. It never ceases to amaze me that one party will do what the other party does and they get pissed. You know, every time the Democrats redistrict, the Republicans get pissed. And every time the Republicans redistrict, the Democrats get pissed. And it's just not even funny anymore. It's like, guys, let's just not bother getting pissed. Why waste our time? They're going to redistrict, and next time the other side has a majority, they're going to redistrict. That's the way it works. That's politics. You don't like it? Win elections. I don't know what else to tell you. It's kind of a messed up deal. All right, so and then below that, right up above me here, we've got Hurricane Erin. And this is a rolling bunch of images out there on what's going on with the hurricane, as well as a few other ones like that slide there, which shows you what months the hurricane season is the strongest. And believe it or not, September is the busy month, and we're coming into that here in about 10 or 11 days. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of that. All right, let's see here. Oh, it's been a busy day. It's been a crazy day. I've got all my systems back up here, and I'm slowly getting them back online. We took another power hit yesterday, and I'm just getting everything back up online now. What I'm trying to do, just so you know, is I'm trying to get this to where I can go ahead and start putting all of these other secondary computers. I got 3 over on this side and I got 4 on that side. I want to start putting those computers and have them cover this storm as it's going by. I want to have it cover doing scanner feeds and aircraft tracking and radar and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm working on that, and probably tonight before I go to bed I plan to have a couple of them up. I only plan on being on for 2 hours tonight, but you know how that goes. Um, the cane is a dangerous weapon. Yes, it is. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with all my views tonight, but that's all right. Anyway, there we go, and we've got. Let's see. Let's get back to the main grid tonight, and our main radar screen there is provided by Radar Omega, where I have a paid subscription, and we've also, like I said, we've got. Oh, Bourbon Street didn't come back up. Well, that's just awesome. It just sometimes needs a little bit of help, a little kick in the ass. There it goes. And that middle one there is rotating through all of the East Coast live cams. Now, tonight, I am going to be leaving up the outer pictures, and I'm going to be using the larger screen where the radar is. I'll be using that screen, and we will be going through this storm in depth and also talking about what's going on out in the tropics. Because there is a lot going on in the tropics right now. It's why is that capturing the wrong screen? That's weird. Okay, so there we go. Now we're capturing the right screen. Right? Yes. Okay, so basically, let's start out by talking about the tropics. This is the 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. And you can see there we've got 3 spots we're watching. Erin, of course, we know that Erin's going to go up and out. And no, there's no surprise there. Where's my epic pen now? Oh, there it is. I think it takes a minute to come up. All right. So basically, we got 3 different ones. We've got Erin here, which currently winds at 110 miles an hour, minimum central pressure at 941 millibars, and it is moving due north at 14. We should start to see that northeasterly turn coming up pretty soon. As we know, we're on the part of the track here where it's now moving straight north. And then at some point, it's going to start moving like this and go along the coast and out. And so its closest pass, which is right here, the Outer Banks, the closest pass is going to happen this evening. So that should be the worst effects that we see from this storm should be coming through this evening is what it looks like. And then behind that, we've got this section, this one here. This one here was looking like it was going to be trouble, but that Bermuda high that sits up here, there's a Bermuda high that sits up here, and that high has pulled off a little more like that. And when that high pulls off in that direction, it allows these storms to turn and go out. And that's what this one's going to do as well. The biggest threat for this storm right now is Bermuda. This one is on a trajectory which puts Bermuda right near the center line of where they think it's going to go. So that would be one I would worry about with Bermuda. Now this one down here, if I was in Florida or the Caribbean or anywhere in the Gulf or even on the East Coast, this is the one I'd be watching. This is probably the first potential actual threat that we have. One of the models takes it up harmlessly right behind these other 2, which is nice. But there's another model that doesn't. We're going to run the models at 6 p.m. They all ran again, and I haven't even looked at them yet. So we're going to look at those models live here in just a couple of minutes. All right, and of course, we're, as always, we use Mike's weather page. Mike's weather page is about the best place to get information for hurricanes. I'll put that information right in here. If you guys have any information tonight, I don't know, I'm getting a warning about buffering or something. Is anybody seeing any problems? That's weird. I don't know what happened. Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on. I'm still getting this error. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong. No buffering. Thanks, Chuck. All right, I'm going to keep right on pressing. I don't know what this warning is I'm getting. I do get it every now and then. But the computer, I've got 60% of the system's resources still available after I'm doing everything I'm doing here. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's get back to the map here. We're on Spaghetti Models. I put the link in there so you guys can find Mike's weather page. Mike is up in northeast Florida, or I'm sorry, northwest Florida, north of Tampa. And he's saying that the air has gotten cool up there tonight, and it feels drier than normal. This storm, I don't think a lot of people realize what's going on with this storm, but I'm going to show you real quick here. Let me go back over to my other telestrator here. As this storm, oh crap, let me do this. Let me pull this out here. What's happening is, and this happens a lot in these storms, this is such a massive ass system that the effects of this wind are way out. And because it's a huge system. Well, what are we doing here? Well, what we're doing is we're transitioning much cooler air up in these air masses up here, and we're transitioning that south. I got word from my Aunt Penny, who lives right up here near my cabin in, near Blairsville, Georgia. She says it's going to be about 50 in the morning there. So it's going to be, even for the mountains in the middle of summer, kind of a brisk morning coming. The reason is because this storm is bringing down cooler air from the north. And because of that, this whole area here could experience cooler than normal. I didn't quite include us down here because I think we might be too far south to actually feel it. But Mike felt it. He lives right about there. So it might make it down this far. I hope it does. But this area I'm showing you here is going to have cooler than normal temperatures, drier than normal, less tropical over the next couple of days. And we'll see how much of it you guys luck up and get. But that's what we're looking at right now. All right. Hey, Junior, what's up? Victor, Chuck, hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Root Man, thank you for being here. And I appreciate you guys all coming in tonight. I'm just going to hang out for a couple of hours, and then when I sign off tonight, I'm going over here. I got all these computers up, and I'm going to try to get as many of them sending out scanner feeds and stuff. This storm really isn't a big deal, but it is, but it isn't. It's one of those kind of things. Is it a nothing burger? No, it is not a nothing burger. It's going to cause high surf and rip currents, and it's probably going to end up hurting and killing a few people, unfortunately. And this is a big ass storm. So as it goes up the coast, you can see there the tropical storm force winds are just going to remain right offshore, Hatteras and all that right there, and the Outer Banks of North Carolina and all that. So it looks like they're going to be spared some of that. Anyway, I just realized I didn't hit the button again. I'm going to have to do something about that button because I hit the button and I start doing stuff, and then I look up and realize I never hit the actual go button that transitions it over. But let me show you real quick what I was just showing you, and I'll do it again. This storm spins counterclockwise like this, okay? And what happens is it's kind of like this. As you go out more, that influence is still there, okay? And what ends up happening is this storm is transitioning cooler, drier air from up here down here. And it's actually bringing us unseasonable temperatures. Like I said, we just heard from Mike at Mike's weather page. He is right here, and he says he feels cooler, drier air this evening, and you can definitely tell the air mass. My aunt lives up there, and she called me and said that they're expecting 50 in the morning for a low. So that's this is all an indicator of what's going on right now, which is all of this cool air is being drugged down. Have we seen this before? Absolutely. We had a storm years ago called Wilma, and Wilma came across the Gulf like this and went across the bottom of Florida like that. But it was a huge storm, and it was kind of disorganized towards the end, but it was a huge storm. As it came across the Gulf, it just kept dragging down all this cold air, kept coming down behind the storm. And once it exited out and kept going that way, once that happened, all this cold air just kept coming down. We had 3 or 4 nights. Now, this was late in the year. This was like in mid-October, Wilma. All that cool air came down, and man, we had 3 or 4 beautiful nights. We would sleep under the stars. It was beautiful. Where normally when a storm goes through in August or September, if it doesn't do this bringing down the cold air thing, it can really be miserable with no electricity. And so anyway, that's what we're dealing with here. We also saw the same thing when Ian went through like this. When that storm was sitting right there, it was doing the same thing. It brought down cooler air, and the 2 nights after Ian, we had 7 or 8 degree below normal temperatures here. Which means instead of being 80, it was like 72. So it's still hot. It's still not great, but it's still a little wet. But it did bring in some drier air. So that's the thing with these storms. They're so big, and if they get really big like this one and kind of powerful, they will bring all that cold air down and that dry air. That's really cool. Okay, so the next thing here is there any questions on the hurricane? All right, let's see here. The next storm we need to look at is that orange blob that I showed you earlier, and that one there is that one's getting a little worrisome. The latest model runs are all over the frickin' place, so we don't really know where this one's going to go. Let me turn this back on and hit the button this time. Okay. You can see there. This is not the latest storm. This is Invest 99 Lima. This is basically this is a model. This is a bunch of models they've run here, and they're all over the place. This is South America down here, and the Windward Islands are right off the camera here. So basically, this if it follows these 3 right here, we're going to have a Caribbean storm. So this one is going to be one that's going to have to be watched closely. It looks like, I hate when it does that. Hold on. It looks like it's going to be a monster. No, that's not what I want. This thing's going to be a monster. I mean, it's a big storm already. You can see it. It's really starting to have a great outflow. One of the things you look for here is look at all this down here. See all the lines forming down here? That's all breathing. That's it breathing. And you can kind of see an outward push all the way around this thing. This thing is really starting to show signs of strengthening. This one, some of the models aren't even picking it up. It's kind of a weird deal. So let's go ahead and run the models and take a look at what we got with that. So let's go back over to Mike's weather page. Let's do the GFS model. This is the American model. Probably the best performing model right now, I would guess. I do believe, anyway. But anyway, let me set that there. Okay, now we're going to run this forward. There's our big storm, 951, 959, 951, and it moves on out. And then behind it, you have 2 more. So I want to show you what you're looking at. This is the one here that they're expecting to follow this other storm. This one down here is the one that we're watching, because this one has the potential to stay pretty far south and actually skirt just north of South America down here. That's a pretty bad scenario for the Gulf of Mexico. So that's the one we're going to watch. So I'm going to run this forward, and we're going to watch that one here. And you can see there that one kind of good. And there, this one, it's showing, it's kind of washing it out. There we go. It washes it out. But I don't think that's what's going to happen, because we've got a lot of other models that are showing that something's going to happen with it. But this is the better performing model. That's why I don't really know what's going on. Let's run the Euro. Okay, this is the Euro model. Here we go. We're going to run this forward. All this is available for you guys, free of charge, right there on right on Mike's weather page. Yes, Ike in Texas did the same exact thing. Drug down that cool weather, and for folks like you guys that lost your generators, or I mean, were on generator or lost your electricity, that 2 or 3 cool nights is a lifesaver because you've worked your ass off all day. Your house has been hit by a hurricane. You're saving stuff, you're boarding stuff, you're fixing stuff. And then when you're tired and you finally want to go to bed, it's hot. And that sucks. So it really makes a big difference when we get those 2 or 3 day reprieve after these big storms. Anyway, let's move forward here, and you can see that one goes out and the other one disappears. But again, if all these models are showing it disappearing, why is the National Hurricane Center so worried about it? Well, because they see beyond the models too, and they also have a lot of different models they use. You can't trust these damn models anyway. Here's the CMC. Let's run this one, and let's see if this gets us anywhere. All right, here's the CMC. And this one washes it out completely. It takes it up into the ocean and washes it out. So it's kind of weird. We're going to have to see if they maybe some of the other models are picking it up. Let's look over here. This is South America here, and this is the Windward Islands. The islands over here on the left, you can't really see them. But let's see. Does this form it out? What does this do? No, this one doesn't really. Nope, that one just washes it out. So, I mean, I don't really see anything that's all that totally impressive out there right now. This is that same wave there as it comes off and goes across. And looks like this one washes it out. Yeah, this one washes it out into Central America. So, yeah, I don't really, nothing really to be sweating too much about right now, you know. The biggest thing we're dealing with tonight, of course, is the rip currents and the tidal rise and stuff like that we're going to end up getting from Erin, which is a 2 right now, but forecast to be a 3 on the next advisory. It's not a major hurricane right now. It is forecast. You can see here the next advisory, which comes in at 2 a.m. Well, there's an 11 p.m. also, and that one might have it. But either at 11 p.m. or 2 a.m., the National Hurricane Center, they're thinking they're going to be upgrading this back to major hurricane status. Here's a shot of the current radar, and there's where we're looking here. See, it's a 2 right now. As of 8 p.m., it's 2. But now they're calling for it to be a 3 by 2 a.m. So there you go. That's something there that... and it's going to make its closest pass coming up pretty quick. You know, as the storm gets probably right about here, that will be its closest pass to land. And that's going to happen here in the next 3 or 4 hours. So the effects are not going to be much worse than they're getting right now. Now, if it doesn't make the turn when expected, that's an issue. But I will tell you, all the models, they've got this thing in, it's like, they really have a lot of what they call, they're concentric, basically. They're all seeing the same thing. Most of the models, they're all very tightly grouped. It's a tight grouping of models. That tells you that there's a lot of confidence that it's going to go in that, it's going to follow that line. Yeah, the beaches are closed everywhere. It starts somewhere in Florida and goes north. They've closed all kinds of beaches. Now, many of them are soft closed, if you know what I mean. The government walks away and says it's closed. They put up a sign, but you can still go. I recommend, if you've never seen the beach when a big storm's going by, it's something to go see. Now, I'm not recommending getting out in the water, although it is kind of fun right on the edge there. It's a very powerful thing when these storms go by, and it's something to behold if you've never seen it. But again, the rip current's bad. I wouldn't even go in the water because it's just dangerous as shit. Yep, that counterclockwise motion is what definitely drags it down. All right, guys, for those just joining us, welcome. Thank you for being here. This is Starship Adventures, and I got a camera on the fritz here. I don't know what's going on, but it's fritzing. And that's a 70s term. It's fritzing out. It's a fritz. I don't know why that came up tonight. I don't know. But anyway, this is Starship Adventures. We are live in Southwest Florida right now tonight for our special Hurricane Erin edition of the Sights and Sounds of Earth. And we are on 6 days a week, and usually every day but Saturday. I got a loved one in the hospital. Things are a little weird this week, so bear with me. I've missed a couple days over the last week. I may miss another. I don't know. But everything is stabilizing, and I'm hoping that things will return back to normal. So let's go back over to the main grid. And on the main grid right now, we've got New Orleans, Bourbon Street. And that is a live view of Bourbon Street. We've also got live views up and down the east coast of Florida. These are live views in the center there. Of the areas that are being affected by these outer bands of Hurricane Erin. And then in the upper right, that is a live sit-in protest that's going on in the Austin, Texas Capitol Rotund. And they are there protesting the proposed changes to the congressional map. Now, if you guys want, I want to take 5 minutes and explain gerrymandering, because I'm finding out a lot of people don't know what this means. So let me just take a few minutes. There was a politician a long time ago. I'm not even going to say what party he's in because it doesn't matter, because they all do this bullshit. But here's what happens, okay? This guy named Jerry, who's a politician, he wanted really bad for his party to be in charge, and they didn't really have enough votes. So what he did was he drew the congressional lines to where there would be enough of his party in each of the squares in order to get all of them. And so he would have all of the congressional districts would be his party, because he would redraw the lines around this part. Like, let's say this part is all... I hate to use Democrat and Republican. Let's use green and yellow. Okay, this area is green, this area is yellow. So the congressman from here is yellow, the congressman from here is in the green party, okay? Now, what ends up happening is they'll come in and they'll redraw it so that they cut half of this district out and add it to half of this district. And then they'll cut half of this district and add it to this district up here. And then they'll bring this district over here and they'll add it to this district. And when they're done, they took a yellow, a green, and a green district, and they made 3 green districts because they diluted the vote of the yellow. Okay? And so that's all it is. They draw the lines. Well, the lines get drawn up this street, down this street, across this canal. And so they called it gerrymandering. That's where the term comes from. What kind of map is that? Oh, it's been gerrymandered, meaning that a guy like Jerry, a politician, would meander those lines all around that map until he got his way. And that's where the term gerrymandering comes from. And that's what the people are mad about. The last time it happened, the Democrats did it, the Republicans protested. This time the Republicans did it, the Democrats are protesting. It's the same game, different people. One day it's a donkey, one day it's an elephant. But the point is whoever's in charge, if you've got a 60% majority, or what they call a supermajority vote, most states allow, with a supermajority vote, they allow the party in charge to change the congressional districts. And of course, if they go meander those around and gerrymander it, they will actually pick up seats for their party. It's been done by both parties a lot, okay? And it is what it is. Yes, the Erin models are definitely in a very tight alignment. Oh, wow. Okay, so September 8th. We'll have to remember that. Can you please remind me of that, Dom? The day before or the day of. Just remind me of that so we can go back. And on that night, I would love to talk about the Great Galveston Storm of 1900. A study, a case study in bad hurricanes 100 and something years, 125 years ago. I read the book. It's sad. I cried through it. It's a bad book. I mean, it's a good book, but it's about a very sad thing. I think the story of the nuns on the beach, the nuns in the reformatory school there, literally each nun tied 10 kids to themselves. And after the storm, they found all of them all tied together. And they were all dead. It was just very sad. The last ice age, oh God, I don't know. All I know is they thought we were heading for an ice age. That was before they thought we were all going to burn to death. And now they're starting to rethink that one. Yeah, the last ice age. We do know a lot about past climactic events like that because of the geological records. In shorter terms, you've got records that are kept by trees that are over 100, 200, 300 years old. You've got trees that have fallen and been petrified, and you can get record from that. There's a lot of record out there, a lot in stone, just in, there's a lot of ways to tell what's happened back through not only the hundreds of years, but the millennia. And I think that I think what we see when we look back is this Earth changes drastically, and it's been doing it long before man. It definitely does. Let's see. Aloha. How's it going? All right. Well, there you go. We're always heading for the next ice age. We're always heading for a warming period because it's just a big cycle that just keeps going and going. Rippin', what we got here? Yes, but in that particular state, it hasn't been done that much. Yeah, it is. And now you've got Democrat states, they're going to be doing it. It's tit for tat at this point. I don't really care. I don't really care. If you win enough elections to get 60%, then you get the gerrymander. It's the way it's set up. If people don't like it, then we'll change it. We can do that too. As voters, we can change the way our government works. But right now, gerrymandering is legal, and apparently they think it's morally okay. Do I like it personally? No. I wish that we could just draw the squares and let the chess pieces fall as they may. But I also agree that you can't just draw an indiscriminate grid. It doesn't work. So I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where without it's like the electoral college, with or without. There's problems with, there's problems without. This is the same thing. If we don't do any meandering at all, and you just use a straight up grid, that may not fairly represent people either. And then you get into, well, what is fairly representing people, and who decides what's fair? That's the problem. Nobody's neutral anymore. Everybody takes a side. The media takes a side. Every news channel takes a side. You might as well just make their logos either red or blue because they're either one side or the other. There is no fair journalism. The last fair journalism that we saw in this country has been gone for 15 years. There is no longer any journalism, whether you're talking about the nightly newses. They've been propaganda for many years. The cable news networks, far left and far right, and there's ones even farther right than Fox, and there's ones even farther left than CNN. But there's not one in the middle. There's not one in the middle where we journalism. We have a joke at work when we see like a story that's written properly, or a report that's given without bias. We'll say something like, hey, right in the middle of all the chaos, journalism broke out. Because it's so unusual to see real journalism anymore. Do you know nobody writes unbiased anymore? Even the Associated Press is completely biased. Reuters, completely biased. Everybody has a bias now. And it sucks because wherever you get your news ends up being your slant. And there is nowhere to get the news that doesn't have a slant. So I hate that. I don't believe we should regulate it with government, but I also don't know what we should do about it. I would love to see a new network emerge onto the scene that's like a CNN, like a Fox, take the best of both worlds, because those are the two big ones. Take a best of both worlds and make a channel that does real journalism. It's a news channel. It doesn't have talking heads. It doesn't have Rachel Madcow and Sean Hannity. It doesn't have all this bullshit. It doesn't have this guy, that guy. What it is, it's a news station that does freaking news and does it right down the middle and gives both sides of the story and researches it and calls out bullshit when it happens. Nobody does that anymore. No matter what news you watch, if their people are spewing the bullshit, they don't even call them on it. If the other party's spewing the bullshit, they freak out on them. I just want to see fair journalism. I think if the story was told properly down the middle by people who are truly neutral, I think that would be the best thing we could do. And I'm not saying to do away with anything else. I'm just saying I would like to see another company come along that produces a non-biased journalistic product that we could take in, where I could go and I could see what both sides believe about something. I can listen to opinions from both sides. I can listen to commentators from both sides. That's what I want to hear. Yes, and I could even argue that Walter Cronkite, near the end of his career, was showing some bias. It goes way back to the 60s, believe it or not. As a matter of fact, the three networks started leaning left in the late 60s and 70s due to the Vietnam War. That's where a lot of that started. Yeah, let me tell you what, there was a time when I loved CNN. I had a CNN shirt at one time. But they're just so on one side of everything now. Whether it's my side or not, I just don't like it. I don't want it. You know, Fox is all the way over on the other side. I would rather have a journalistic product that's in the middle, but there isn't one. Yeah, Agenda Free TV. I watch that guy. I like that guy. He's doing good work. And he's a straight up guy, just like us. You know, he's not some big market, this or that. I like that guy. Yeah, I tell you, I'm in the media. And I used to be in government. So I have some very unique points of view where I've actually looked in a lot of different windows, if you know what I mean. And I'm telling you that this is a thing. There is no unbiased media. You may like CNN, or you might like Fox News, or Newsmax, or MSLSD. You may like it's got a new name now, MS Now. I don't know if you know it or not. NBC disowned MSNBC 2 days ago, and it's now called MS Now. They're splitting their correspondents, reporters, and specialists up, and some are staying with the big network, and some are going to the spin-off company, MS Now, which is going to be a completely different company. So we're seeing that's a big shakeup in the news media. I want to see what happens with that. There's been some talk of a couple of other cable news network coming out. Thing is, we've already got several of them on the far left and several of them on the far right. I would love to see one come out and say, look, we're down the middle. But here's the problem. They'll say they're down the middle, and over the first couple years, you'll realize they're not. It's all been bullshit. And even if they are down the middle, most of us, and I want you to search yourself, and you'll agree with me on this, okay? Most of us are just so tore up right now with the bias, and we've become so jaded and so just exacerbated with the way politics is now, and so tired of the way the media runs and everything else. If we saw real news, we probably wouldn't believe it and probably wouldn't watch it. I know. I know. We talk about this at work, dude. I think if somebody really did real journalism now, it would scare the shit out of us. Yes. Yeah, that's why when I say it goes all the way back, it goes all the way back. I mean, the bias in TV news goes back almost as far as the TV itself. And it's because it started with coverage of the wars. It's funny how in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, your Democrats were the anti-war party, and everything went left wing. NBC, ABC, CBS, because it was an anti-war effort, basically. And it's funny because in the last 25 years, everything shifted. The Republicans are now your anti-war party, and your Democrats are the ones that want to go to war all the time. It's a bizarre thing that's happened. You know, you remember the hippies in the 60s that always used to say, hey, man, you know what, dude? We gotta not let the man get us, man. You know, fuck the man. We can't let the man get us, right? Oh, man. We gotta keep the man out of our business, man. Guess what? Those people all grew up. They put down the doobers. They grew up, and they all, guess what? They're the man now. They're the man running all of these big cities now. They're the hippies from the 60s and 70s. They didn't let the man get them because they became the man. The role reversals in the parties has been crazy. Anyway, yeah. Carter, Reagan, that era had a lot to do with the changes we see today. But then later on, you know, Obama, Trump in that era, there was, you know, there as well. But I just, there's just been some huge changes in the way the people think. These people used to be these people, and now they're these people. You know, 25 years ago, there was one side going, we should go over there and bomb those sumbitches, and we should send more troops, and we should send bombs, and now it's the other side. Now you got it's literally role reversal. You got one side now saying we should go over and send bombs, but that's not the same side. It's the other side now. It's weird. I don't know. It's a bizarre thing. Red, that's the text of the night right there. You just won the text of the night. You are absolutely correct, 100%. The lie of omission is the biggest lie of all. It's not what they tell you, it's what they don't tell you. When they come on the nightly news, or when they come on Fox News, when I say this stuff, please don't think I'm on one side or the other. I think all media and all news is effed up biased bullcrap, okay? So what I'm trying to say is, when you go on the nightly news or Fox News or NBC News or CNN News, it's not what they report, it's what they don't report. That's the most important thing. And what you'll find, and some networks are worse than others, and I'll let you guys figure that out. Some networks, like, well, a couple of the big three, when they do their nightly news at night, they literally leave out huge stories and only report parts of other stories, and only they report the story in a certain way. Instead of reporting this person did this, they'll report this group of people got pissed and pounced on this group of people because this guy did this. What? Just write the story about the guy that slept with his maid or whatever, for Christ's sake. Why do you gotta make it about the people that reacted to the people that reacted to the... What? What are we doing? And what it is it's a way to turn a bad news story around right from the headline. Instead of putting the headline, Congressman sleeps with his housemaid, okay? What they're gonna write is, the other side got really mad and acted really, really indignant because they heard that some guy did something on the other side. You see what I mean? The story takes on a completely different spin. The Animal Farm. I believe it. Yep, the bias of omission is the largest bias of all. Because the easiest way for you to be persuaded by something is by not telling you at all. If you get your news from the same source every day and that source never brings up a certain topic, then you'll be ignorant to it. And that's what they want. Because if you want to control people, you control the information that the people are fed. And that's the bottom line. Yeah, the whole thing is a mess. I don't know, the whole thing's a mess. DC's a mess, both inside and outside the Beltway. I don't know what to tell you. These big cities are in such messes right now. How long do we let this stuff go on? I mean, how long do we let the anarchy go on in our big cities? We're going to have to eventually do something. Oh boy. All right, so let's see here. Where are we at? Yeah, I'll tell you what, there was a time after 9/11, my family had to do an intervention on me after 9/11. I stacked 3 TVs up on top of each other. I had Fox, CNN, MSNBC, and I had 3 19-inch TVs stacked up because I had moved out of my apartment. I had sold my apartment. I owned it for about 9 years, and I sold it. And I sold it literally weeks before 9/11, just a few weeks. And I had moved all my crap into my brother's house because he had a garage he wasn't using, and he had a back bedroom, like a mother-in-law's room, he wasn't using. So I went and just moved in there for a few months until I got another place bought. And that's when 9/11 happened. That I was living at my brother's house, and they came and woke me up. Well, I had all my stuff in storage, so at his house. Next thing you know, I'm getting all my TVs and I'm hooking them all up to antennas and everything else. And I got to the point where I couldn't look away. It got to the point where I'm serious. My family sat down with me and said, "Look, we're gonna talk to you. We're gonna take you on a trip for a couple of days, and you're not taking any TVs." And of course, 9/11, 2001, we were just barely starting to get cell phones, handheld cell phones, so there was no like smartphones or any of that kind of stuff. And so I literally, they did an intervention on me. And then during the Gulf War, I got wrapped up in the news again. And I mean, I had TVs stacked up, and I couldn't get enough of it. My friends would come over and we would just sit and would watch the war on 6 screens. It wasn't that I'm pro-war or anti-war. I'm pro-news. Watching breaking news, they're embedded with the troops. We get to watch live as they're going in. Whether it's right or wrong or who is this or that, it was live breaking news, man. It was crazy. And I'm hooked on that, like phonics. And so after that, I had to kind of slowly put it down too, because I got really... And then after that, I started building stuff like this, where I wanted to have my own media room where I could monitor large events and I've always wanted to do this, and those two events, 9/11 and the Gulf War, because of the effect they had on me in media. I had just retired from the fire service, literally a few weeks before 9/11. I retired full time, and I was still part time helping the new guy out for a year or so, and I stayed on for a while, but it was just a strange time, and I just could not put the news down, and it was I started seeing the bias. You know what I mean? You started really seeing the bias when it comes to wars. And like I would notice when I'm watching these TVs that one of the TVs would report something over and over and over again. It's a big deal. The one below it, they never mention it all day long. Not on the Chiron, not on the breakfast bar scroller, not on the anchor never mentioned it. That's the lie of omission. That's it right there. And you don't really notice it unless you start stacking TVs up on top of each other. And that brings me back to where I was. So, like my host at work, I actually made it back to where I started. That's awesome. I love old people that wave their cane at the moon, though. It kind of gets their frustrations out. Oh, boy. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here. I do appreciate it. On the screen, you are watching New Orleans, Bourbon Street, live. Kind of quiet there tonight. And you're watching, in the middle, live views, which it's dark now and hard to see anything, but live views nonetheless, of the coastline up and down the East Coast, where we have a Category 2, soon to be Category 3 hurricane sitting out in the Gulf, out in the Atlantic, and it's sitting off the coast of the Outer Banks is basically where it is. Let me see if I can do something here. No, that's not what I wanted. I hit the wrong button. I think it's this one. All right, so there we go, guys. It's gonna, right now, from the closest point, 256. What's this one here? 299. 252. So right there, the Outer Banks, you see where I've got the line drawn? That's the closest point right now, and it's still going to be the closest point when it's over here. It's right now 253 miles from the Outer Banks, 253 miles. And if we take a look at this, once it gets to about here, that's 205 miles. That's going to be the closest pass right there. That'll be the closest it comes to the United States of America. And then, of course, Bermuda is way off to the right, and Bermuda is actually going to get a little more space than we are, although they're on the bad side. So that worked out good. It's a good split. All right, so there you go. There's your 204 miles right there, and let's take a look. Since I got this tool up, I want to take a look at something here. Look how big this storm is. This storm is 500 miles wide. The tropical storm wind field on there is 465 miles wide. So we're talking about a major, long, big-ass old hurricane out here. All right, so let's take that off of there. That's just another feature of Radar Omega. Radar Omega does some really cool stuff. It has like split screen features like this, so you can look at your radial velocity and your and your high-res reflectivity all at the same time, and you can even run those. If you're really into weather, this is worth the money. It's like 40 bucks a year or whatever. It's worth the money. You get most of this on your phone for free, but if you want it on your desktop, you have to pay for it. But anyway, it works great for broadcasters because this gives me... Oh, thanks, Space Boy. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. This gives me the ability to basically broadcast just like they do at work. You know, I basically can do all the same things they can do at work. I can show you different graphics. I can pull up different things. This is really cool. I wish we had cameras. There's not any network cameras over here. All the network cameras are like over here. I've always wondered why. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But anyway, so there we go. That's our storm. Let's take it out of split mode. It does other things too. We have this tool here, which you can actually like draw a track on where it's going to go. This is great for tornadoes because you can track what cities it's coming into next and stuff. You saw the measuring tool. It does screen captures and all kinds of stuff, draws over the screen. But it also has an amazing amount of options, different things you can turn on and off. And I really love Radar Omega. That's Radar Omega. Just type it into a browser near you. And listen, I don't have any paid sponsors. When I talk about a product that I like, they're not paying me. I'm telling you because that's what I recommend. Okay, so if I get a paid one, that's fine. We'll do that later, and I'll make it clear that that's a paid sponsor. But if I mention like Radar Omega, Flight Radar 24, Mike's weather page, that's from here. That's from my heart. I love these sites. I use them every day. Yeah, I mean, that's quite a ways, isn't it? That's quite a ways. And that's from the center to right to the closest land, basically. It does look, I don't know, it's hard to tell. They purposely make it kind of hard to tell if it's off forecast, like if it's trending off forecast. They don't really make that all that prevalently known. The model uncertainty is only like 70 miles wide. So there's not much this thing can do. The models have got it pegged right now. I just really don't think there's a lot we can do with it. It's going to be able to do. All right, let's take another couple look at a few other things here, and then we'll see what else is going on in the world. But first of all, I want to show you guys the Gifford fire out in California. We're reaching getting that thing under control right now. Man, it was so nice when I could click this and show you guys all the information, but it won't do it anymore. I used to just double click on it and it would bring everything up. And will this tell me anything? Okay, the latest incident, the Gifford fire. That's in San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties. 778 structures threatened. They've only lost 5 structures. 9 firefighters have been injured. 3 civilian injuries. No deaths. That's a good thing. And containment is at 95% with 131,000 acres burned. The fire is currently being administered by the Los Padres National Forest, and the incident is still listed as active. So that's that. That's the Gifford fire. Let's take a look over at the heat map and see if we've got any changes. It doesn't look like there's going to be that much on the heat map. Look at that. There's nothing. That's the best one we've seen. Look at that. There's no heat. No heat signatures from space. So this fire here is damn near under control, and that is something really cool to be able to report to you guys. And of course, the other one we were watching, that fire has been under control. The one that was there near Santa Clarita. And then let's do the seismic monitor. Here we go. We got one. We got one. Let's see. Where's this one at? Yeah, this one just happened. 4.7. It's in New Guinea. I'm not even sure if I could point out New Guinea on a map. Okay, so there we go. There's a couple of small ones here. One in California at 2.8. 2.5 in Texas. Let's see where that is, because I got some folks here in Texas. That was Western Texas. It's going to be like on your Western Panhandle there. It's going to be just south of Carlsbad, Arizona. Or no, I'm Carlsbad, Nevada. I'm sorry, I said the wrong state. All right, and you guys will find I'm pretty good at the weather stuff. I'm pretty good at analyzing science data and stuff like that. The geography, I'm not all that great at. Like, I don't think I could write all 50 states in the squares at this point. I try. I get pretty good. I'm getting better, but it's just not. Geography has never been my strong point, unfortunately. All right, so let's see. There's one down here in the Caribbean. Kind of strange, a storm just went by there, and now an earthquake. Interesting. Literally, just that storm just came through here. That storm just did that. Interesting. I don't think it's related, but it's interesting, isn't it? All right, so let's see here. Anything else going on? Nope, that's about it. Nothing new with this cluster. One crazy ass cluster they had up there. That's the one that produced that tsunami. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Let's do this. Shit. I just realized I didn't hit the button again. I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do. When I get tired like this, I can't do a fucking thing right. I don't know what to do. God damn it. Whatever. What a waste. I really shouldn't be trying to do all this right now, but I don't want to give up what I got. It's so hard to get an audience on YouTube. I've been 5 years, and I go live, I still only get 25, 30 people. It takes forever to get an audience on YouTube. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you build, no matter how much you do. And I don't want to give it up right now. I should take a few weeks off and be with my mother and deal with that, but I just can't. I got to keep this going because I cannot give up the ground. Those algorithms forget about you in a matter of days. It's like you can cook with gas for an entire month. Take 3 days off and you're back almost to ground zero again, square one. It's crazy. So yeah. It just went up to Cat 3. They must be issuing every 2-hour forecasts right now. Anyway, this is what I was showing. This is the earthquake map. You didn't miss anything. We've got this one over here in New Guinea, and we got this one over here in the Virgin Islands, in the U.S. Virgin Islands, right near where the storm went through. That's it. That's all that there is. And as far as the brush fire, there's nothing to see there. There was no new heat signatures on the map or any of that kind of stuff. So that was actually really good. Really good about that. All right, so there's that. And See if I can get the latest. Yep, there you go. It is definitely there. Let's see here. All right, yeah. The latest from the National Hurricane Center as of the 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Intermediate advisory 38 alpha. Maximum sustained winds 110 miles an hour. Movement north at 14 miles an hour. And that north is going to turn northeast here in the next few hours. But yeah, it is now a major hurricane again, 110 mile an hour winds. Yeah, no, I know, Dom, and I'm gonna head to bed. Junior, there's competition. That's true, um, but it's a very big field. I'm a very small fish in a very big pond, but I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep going because I know that silver plaque is attainable, um, and I know I can do it. Um, that's where we're going, Coco. Um, it looks like it may be temporary. The improvement every day is amazing. We're actually, as bad as it was, we're actually seeing a lot of improvement with my mom. So we're really happy about that. I don't want to get too much into it. It's a private thing, but um, uh, let's just say it was a really bad thing. And the at first we thought there wasn't going to be a whole lot to work with, and we're finding out now that a lot of it's coming back quicker than we thought, and maybe there'll be some quality of life. We're looking at some good quality of life, getting her back up to the cabin and stuff like that. So um, yeah, well, I am. I've been on an hour and 8 minutes, and I'm not going over two. I have to stop at two. I look up and I see 40, 50 people in there, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't want to go to bed. I want to stay up and I want to do the show. People are interested in what I'm saying. So I got to stop doing that, but I have no idea. I have no idea where the cats are. They're normally right outside. Oh, let me see any of them around here. I got a whole new cat tonight that you guys have never seen before. This is Ted. Not Ed. Ted. Say hi, Ted. He's beautiful. He's all gray. He's kind of half blue, half steel. He's kind of in the middle. And he's huge. He's fixed, of course. We get him all fixed. His thing with us was my son-in-law was fueling up at a gas station during a blinding rainstorm, and he looks out between the pump and the store, and right in the middle of the driveway is this little cat about that big. Its eyes were barely open. We don't know where he came from. At first, he thought maybe he fell out of an eagle's talon or something. We have no idea how this thing got in the middle of this huge parking lot. In a blinding, inch deep with rain, half drowning rainstorm going on. And it's sitting out in the middle of the rain. And he went out and grabbed it, brought it up. And then I'm thinking, well, I bet you the mother brought it up inside a car in the wheel well or something, and it fell out while the car was driving through the parking lot. That was my guess. Others think maybe the mother was nearby and it just ran. This thing was not old enough to run. It couldn't run, it couldn't walk hardly. It barely had its eyes open. Yeah, well, I can bring 3 or 4 to the mountains. I can't, you have to understand, I rescue cats here, and I got 3 or 4 that are kind of feral. I can touch them, but they're kind of feral. Are they mine? I guess they are. They belong to neighbors that moved away. They just showed up one day. I don't know where they come from. I get them fixed. As soon as I can catch them, I get them fixed. I got a program here in town that helps me with that. And then I got about 6 of my own cats that are my cats. That they're indoor, outdoor, or all indoor. But I don't have shitloads. I mean, like 10 total. And like I said, 4 of those are just half feral cats that from the neighborhood that I feed every day, that I take care of and let live in my yard. The cat distribution system, yeah. Hey, Comms. Mom is better every day. I mean, we're seeing improvement every day, and that's important. And I'm kind of happy where we're at right now. And it's still going to be a long road. We know this, we understand this. But I think as of today, I feel like it's doable now. I really wasn't sure up until now, but I'm kind of sure now that I think we'll do the rehab thing for a while. We'll get her home. We'll be able to keep going with our life here. So I'm hoping. Come here, Ted. That's the problem with him. He is so curious. He's a wuss. He runs from everything, but he's curious about everything. The moment I brought him in here, he has to go sniff every single thing in this room. Yeah, when I get to the mountains, I'll take 3 or 4 with me. Mama Bleep and Ed for sure. Carlotta may take Teddy and Littles. She loves these cats too. They're her cats too, and so we're gonna figure out what works best. She's still here some. She's living in Tampa some. I'm here most of the time, but I'm going to Georgia 4 or 5 weeks a year, and it's getting a little more complicated. And then in a few years, 2 or 3 years, I'm going to move up there permanently. It's going to be a done deal, and I'm going to rebuild this studio up there. So, and I'll take Mama Bleep and Ed for sure, and then we'll play it by ear after that. Come here, buddy. Yeah, look at everybody. Say hi. They don't understand cameras. Isn't he beautiful? He weighs about 16, 17 pounds. He's huge. He's been fixed since the time you're supposed to fix him. He just got big. See, he don't want nothing to do with this. Now, when I'm in there, he's all over me. But out here, he's got shit to smell right now. He likes to come over at night on this shoulder over here, and he likes to snuggle up with this shoulder and nurse a little bit on my shoulder. It's weird. Ed likes to stand on top of me and make biscuits. He makes biscuits like this. And then Littles likes to come up and curl up and lay on this shoulder right here. So yeah, sometimes I'll have three cats, one laying on this shoulder, one laying on this shoulder, and one laying on top of me like this. And then finally I'll go, okay, go away, go away, go away. Come on, this is ignorant. You've made your biscuits, you've done your thing, you've done your thing. Um, no, they worked on my car AC all day today, and they've replaced out three more parts, and they've come to the conclusion that it's a bad, that they had just replaced out the compressor, and that the compressor was bad. It was a rebuild. And they have now sent out to get another compressor from this company because this one apparently is no good. It's intermittent. Sometimes it blows ice cold. Sometimes it's warm. It all just, it's kind of like an air of the day. You know, you don't know what it's going to be till you turn it on. But anyway, it's okay though. I mean, it's going to get fixed. It's a great car. I'm happy with it otherwise. I have ordered all the LED light bulbs. I'm replacing everything. The inside lights have already been done. And I got two front and two rear of the big turn signal bulbs, all big LED ones that are like twice as bright. And then I got a bunch of these little marker lights. I got to show you those. You know the little marker light? It's like a bulb. It's like a glass bulb, right? And on the bottom there's like the two little twisted wires, and it just kind of pinches in that little marker light, and then you squeeze it and stick it back. And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? They don't look like that anymore. That's what they look like now. Isn't that crazy? The blade sticks in where the bulb used to stick in. It's just like a blade now, and it's got 8 LEDs, 4 on each side, that create the red light or the amber light. I bought the 4 of these for like $5, $6, and I got 10 amber ones coming because they were like $8 for 10 of them. When I'm done with these, I've got a big thing over there where I put all my fuses and connectors and all that, and whatever I don't use will go in there, so I'll have them for later. But there's 4 of them in here. They're just like a flat circuit board. It's literally a flat circuit board, and it's got the 2 contacts on the one side and the LED lights on the other side, and you just stick that in there. And I got my new LED headlights. These are going to be cool. There's already a set in there, but I think they're the wrong ones, but the ones that are in there will fit in the high beam ones. So I'm upgrading the high beams. I'm putting brand new ones in the low beams, and everything in the car is going to be new as far as all the equipment. I'm putting these are going in the front. These have a scene light, like big white lights. That's the ones on top and the bottom. It also has the ones in the middle, which are fog lights. They're amber. And then there's a button I can hit, and they will alternate back and forth like strobe lights. So these are warning lights. So they serve 3 separate purposes when I have them on my car. And I'm going to have buttons for each. There'll be a button that will turn on the white ones, and a button for the yellow ones, and a button for the flashing ones, and a button for the light on the roof, and a button for whatever other lights I put in it, whatever. And the switch panel fits perfectly in the dashboard, and it's literally fits perfectly in there. The 2 cigarette lighter plugs and the USB that the car has sit just underneath it, and you can't access them anymore. I don't care because I don't need them. I can always pop this up and plug something in and run the wire and put it back in. It's not like it's going to be a big deal. This has the voltage in the center, which gives me a voltage readout all the time. And then it also, what are you doing? What are you doing? You getting in trouble? Uh-huh. That cat's always got guilty. The moment I look at him and say, are you in trouble? He's like, what'd you do? Where are you going? You don't need to go back there. Coming through. So anyway, and this is a cigarette lighter plug, and this one here is a double USB. And this will be in my car. It'll replace the ones that come in the car. And the good thing about that is the ones that come in the car are only good for about 8 or 10 amps. This one is going to be wired. It'll be good up to 15 amps. So if you plug something in there that takes a lot of juice, the light bar, the lights in the front, all my other stuff, and my radio, the 2 radios I'm putting in, everything will all be hooked up through this panel here, which will be fused by this that I got. And what this basically is, and this is basic. Cat, go away. Don't make me mad now. I'm one of these people that if something bad can happen, it will. So I like to fuse everything. I double fuse everything. And I bought this. This is a neat little device. This is like $7 or $8. It's very cheap. And I'll pull the cover off if I can here. Doesn't matter. The point is the fuses go in there. See the little red lights? If a fuse blows out, the red light comes on. It lets you know which one has the blown fuse. It's really cool. This mounts up underneath the dashboard. The way I'm going to do it, it's going to have a harness of wires, and I'll be able to just pull it down so I can service it and then just stick it back up again. It'll just Velcro up underneath there. This has 10 ports, 5 on each side. And I'm going to take those ports and I'm going to run them out to all of my peripherals in the car. And it comes with a bunch of fuses. The one thing I like about these, they send you enough fuses to where there's almost enough of every color to do 10. There's like 50 fuses in here. Boy, the car itself takes micro fuses. Holy shit, they're small. I ordered some of those, and look how small these things are. Man, you talk about some small ass damn fuses now. These things are little. You ready to go in? Let me take this cat in. I'll be right back. Come on, buddy. Let's go back inside. Oh, you don't want to go inside? Okay, all right. Well, I'll give you a few more minutes then. Yep, I got all the different. I already had a lot of this stuff. Like this. I've got every kind of adapter connector you could possibly want, and then I even have more. So I know I've got every part that I'm going to need here. And the one thing I did buy myself was a new set of crimpers. You know, crimpers have come a long way. When I was young and I was wiring fire trucks and shit, it was hard to get a good set of crimpers. But I got to tell you guys now, man, that's a nice set of crimpers. You put that thing in there and boom, it's crimped, man. There ain't no bullshit. And I can't wait to get all this going. I'm going to wire this all absolutely correctly. It's all going to be done really neat. I've got a big pack of the looms so that I can make it look really nice in the car. You won't see much of it at all. So I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to get in there and start working on the car. I had this antenna on it. These are okay. There's not a lot of performance with these. I see the cops with these all the time. Theirs are 800 megahertz, 900 megahertz, and they actually work pretty good. This one is for UHF and VHF, and it's not a big performer. It's metal in the air, and there's just not a lot of metal in the air. You really need to have a lot of metal in the air in order to have a good receiver. This is what this is inside. Take a look. It's just a wrapped wire around a PC board. That's all it is. Now, does this work? It works. It's a good SWR, and if your repeater is 5 or 7 miles away, this will give you great performance. But if you're in a rural setting, I would not even buy one of these. I would go more with a whip, go with a 5/8, a collinear, something bigger. Um, but anyway, yeah, that's all that is. It's literally a PC board that just sits down inside that this little antenna housing here. Oh, I can't get it. I can't get it the thread back on. There we go. Okay, so I like this, and I'm buying another NMO magnet mount for this one because this does work on the higher frequencies better. But I'm going to use this for my 400 meg radio, and my 2 meter radio I'm going to put a regular 5/8 on the back. Yeah, I used the black. I got the black Velcro with the real strong adhesive on it. Yeah, well, when I said I'd Velcro it up underneath there, what I probably meant was I'm just going to put the loop side on there, and it will just stick up underneath there and stick to the carpet more than likely. It just needs to stay up so that it's not stepped on by the passenger. That's all. And then I want to be able to grab the fuse box and pull it down so that I can see it and work on it. I can't crawl up under dashes no more. So I'm building this thing so that I can service it myself, and everything will be serviceable. No, I haven't. I've got an FT100 here, but it's not putting out full power on HF. It only puts out about 10 watts on HF, and it puts out full wattage on UHF and VHF. So I think at first I'm going to mount that one in there because it does give me sideband on 2 meter and 440. It does give me HF receive, and it does give me QRP. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there for now, but I'm looking for another radio to replace it already. And I don't have a good UHF VHF radio. I've got an 8900 that works pretty good, and I'm probably going to put that in there. Well, the neat thing in the car, even with the magnetic, your car is the ground plane. That's what's nice. What are you doing back there? What you doing, buddy? He's so big. His brother, who is older than him, Littles is, I swear, half his size. Half. Because Littles was a runt. This thing is huge, this thing here. He's just having a ball in here, playing and doing his nails and smelling everything. All right. Yeah, I've been looking at it, different antennas. I'm not sure. I would like to get a 5/8 collinear, but they're pretty long. I do have a bigger mount that I could put it on, but I just don't know if I want that kind of rig on. I've got a 4 magnet mount with a mount on there that I can put bigger antennas on, but I don't know. It's that I don't want to put that on my car. It's just such a big thing. That's interesting, Coco. It's been a while since I've looked at that. Yeah, my feelings on that, and by the way, Devil's Tower is the rock in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. What a great shooting location. It's an actual, a lot of people when they saw that movie didn't believe that this place actually exists, but it does. It's like a flat top, the sheer size of it would tend to make me believe that it is exactly what they say it is, a rock. Our planet never supported trees that size and couldn't support trees that size. So that's the only, scientifically, that's the only reason why. Is it possible? Anything's possible over a millennia, but I have no idea. But I will say that I haven't looked into it completely. I have heard the theory before. He's playing in all my Amazon boxes over there. And what's funny is, I love when they try to do it. He loves eating boxes. He's going to eat some Amazon now. I love how the AI overview when I put it in the computer just to make sure I was going to talk about the right rock. Would you stop? I don't know what he did, dude, but shit just went flying everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny that it says Devil's Tower is a geological rock formation, not a tree. It says that right in the description, right here. Not a tree. That leads me to believe that maybe it is a tree. Anytime Google goes out of its way to debunk your ass in the first sentence, I start to believe it's true. Okay, we're out. Come on. Tearing my shit up. Man, he knocked everything over in here. It looks like a dumpster in here now. Yeah, and there's definitely something to that formation. It could be anything. I don't think there's any wrong answers right now. It's just very big. It's huge. Yeah, I know. Luckily, none of my cats are wire biters. He's a box eater. He likes any cardboard box he can sink his teeth into. But I don't. I have not had a wire ate in this house in years. And I thank God because I haven't done anything to prevent it. All right, guys, thank you for being here. I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes with you. I've been on about an hour and 35 minutes. We are covering Hurricane Erin. By morning, I should have a few feeds up. I'm going to try to get some stuff going in here. I'm probably going to get up early in the morning. I'm probably going to go right to bed and then get up early in the morning. I do my best work in the morning. And I'm going to come out here. We've got a new version of the program that he just compiled this morning. And I'm going to initiate that on a few of these computers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like the coastal communities of these 5 counties, and then these 5 and these 5. And I'm going to do them all up the East Coast. It'll be making a close pass. Well, let's see here. Once it gets to here, that's going to be 2 a.m. And then the next update is way over here at 2 p.m. So by 2 p.m. tomorrow, it'll be making its closest pass probably about 6 or 8 in the morning It'll be coming right by here where it's going to be on its closest pass. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going to get up kind of early, and I'm going to come out here and try to get a bunch of stuff on so that when people wake up tomorrow, there'll be feeds going of the Outer Banks, because it's with these kind of storms, it's the next 3 days we want to cover, not necessarily now, because the effects are going to be kind of lasting here. I don't. This is more of a practice run, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. It's more of a practice run because this is not a real big storm. It's not a nothing burger, but it's not a big storm. It's just not. And so, but it will be a good way for us to test everything out. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get up early. I usually get up around 6 a.m. and I'll get out here. So when you guys, tomorrow when you get a chance, check out the channel and see what lives I have going. And if you guys have a few minutes, go on to each one and hit the thumbs. And what really makes a difference is just leave one on. Just leave it on sometime. If you're going to run to the store or whatever, just leave it playing. You can just, if I support a channel or whatever, sometimes I just leave it play. I'll go to bed and just leave it on. Oh, okay. Well, we're not gonna comms. We're not gonna hold you to it. I make enough mistakes every night. I can't even come up with the names of stuff anymore. It's gotten bad. I tell you, I hate to always be coming in here telling you guys how my brain is jelly, but the last 2 or 3 days it is jelly. It's a lot of it's a lot when you've got someone in the hospital and they're not doing great, or they're, even if they're doing better, but it's still just it's very taxing to see someone you really care about go through something like this. And it's sad when they start mourning the loss of their abilities. It's just I watched her go through the steps just as if she lost a cat or a child. On the third day, she was crying. She was upset because it was sinking in that she's lost ability, that she'll never get back. Now, much of it she will get back, but not all of it. And now today, today she was very rational, very joking. She's still very cognitive. She's got all of her cognitive, thank God. It's a motor problem. She was telling jokes, and we were having a good time talking about the old times. I was showing her old movies that we had cut off of the old 8mm, and we just had a really good day today when I was up there before work. And so we're getting close to acceptance now, and just the hard work has to begin. That's all. Yeah. All right, guys. There's still about 25 of you in there. I do really appreciate everybody that's come in tonight. A real quick rundown. Upper left, we've got Bourbon Street. And there's nothing really going on there. I just put it up so you guys have something to see. And then we got the Hurricane Watch. These are live views from up and down the east coast of the United States. And then we've got Austin, Texas, where we have a live sit-in going on right now at the Rotunda in the Texas Capitol in Austin, Texas. And then we've got Hurricane Erin information right above me here. And that all that information is as of about 2 hours ago. I can't update that one live while I'm on the air. It takes too long. But that's just a slideshow of GIFs and images. All right, and there you can see the storm. You're probably wondering, why do I only see a little bit of storm when it's such a big storm, but I don't see that much storm? Well, that's because the radar sites only go out 100 miles. And I want you to notice, this is the radar site right here. And there's your that right there. That's 150-mile range right there. Okay, so now we're going. There's 200 and about 250. That's about the max range on the radar right there. So you can see how you get about 250 miles, and that's it. And also, if radar's going past 150 miles, it doesn't see through heavy rain that well. So you'll get rain fade where you'll see behind the rain, it'll look like there's no rain, but there is actually rain there. It's just that the beam is so weak, it's not going through all the rain. There's some things about radar that they don't explain very well on TV, but you can definitely see here when you go out to 250 miles. That's 250 right there. See that blue circle? That's 250. Notice everything you see is pretty much inside that circle. Right around the eye wall, you can see a little bit just outside of the 250 mile marker. You can see it out about 270 miles, 280 miles. And that's it. See that? That's as far as that radar goes. And notice the further out you get, it's not showing you as much. That doesn't mean that there's less rain. There's actually more rain, but the radar can't show it to you. Coco, if you're into old movies and you're into old, neat places, I would consider Vasquez Rocks. I don't know if you were in the other day when we talked about Vasquez Rocks. It's the single, I think more television has been shot there than any other remote location. I'm not talking studios, but I'm talking about any shooting locations outside the studio. I think Vasquez Rocks has probably seen more shooting. This is the site where Kirk fought the Gourd. It literally that shooting location has been used in tens of thousands of different videos and films and movies going back 75 years. So something really cool to just take a look at if you're looking to make a big, like a tour thing. It's near Burbank. It's in a place called Agua Dulce, and it's really a cool thing to look up. But that's Vasquez Rocks. I would add it to my trip for sure. And Devil's Tower, I would want to see that too. If for no other reason, it was the focal point of one of the best movies ever made, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Are you kidding me? Richard Dreyfuss, are you kidding me? That's one of the best movies ever made. When he sticks his head out of the truck and he gets one side of his face burned, I just love that. I don't know why. I always thought that was, the flashlight scares him. He was like, ah! I love that movie. Okay, Dom, you're correct. I don't know if somebody said something or what, but yeah, the strength of a hurricane is determined by the speed of the winds going around the eye wall. That's correct. The fastest winds in the storm, and they're usually found in the northeast quadrant. The clouds. If you're talking about the radar, I was just explaining how radar has a limited range, and that's why we can't see the middle of the storm from here. Yeah, wasn't that a great movie? I love the cast in that movie, and I thought that was just an amazing movie. It was epic at the time. I mean, that was a really well done movie. It's a long movie. It's two hours plus long. Great movie. I had a film strip reel for that movie. You know, the old round films, the old round Viewmasters. I had those for that movie. I think I had the trading cards for that movie at one time. Yes, that's correct, Dom. Absolutely. That's the wind fields. Exactly. And that's generally what those circles will always show on any radar is the wind fields. And we were talking earlier about how big this wind field is, and it's huge. If you look at it, it's this wind field goes out about 235 miles in all the way around in every direction. The wind field goes out a little further. If you go from the center of the storm, the wind field goes out a little further on the right than it does to left. You can see that. It's off center a little bit. But yeah, that's it, man. I got to tell you, when it comes to these big storms like this, the size makes a big difference. People always talk about the category of the storm. The category is important if it's hitting your town, because if a Cat 5 hits your town, that's going to be nuts. But for most everybody else in the world, the size of the storm is the most important thing. Because if it's 200 miles away and it's only a 100-mile wide storm, you're probably okay. You're going to have some shitty weather. So, like Katrina was only a Cat 3 when it made landfall. Still had some higher energy levels in it because it was a 5 earlier. But it was a 3 when it made landfall. But its sheer size created catastrophic damage from Pensacola, Florida, all the way to Texas. It was a huge storm. Charlie, on the other hand, only had a 6-mile wide eye. It devastated one town when it came in. That was pretty much it, Port Charlotte. That was the smallest frickin' major hurricane I've ever seen in my life. So there's a big difference with the storm's wind field. And the wind field has nothing to do with the category. And I disagree with that. I think there needs to be a better way of identifying hurricanes. It almost needs to be like it's a 535 or something like that, where you have like the rotational speed, the size. I don't know. We have to figure out some way to give people, maybe it's just a 2, maybe it should be a 5/7, meaning that it's a category 5 storm and it's a size 7, meaning it's about the size of freaking Katrina. You see what I mean? I just think there needs to be some way. The Saffir-Simpson scale needs to be modified to include the size of the storm, because the size of the storm is just as important as the rotational speed when it comes to overall damage. Let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. When I was a kid, I could play that on piano. I could play that on a xylophone. I could play that on anything I had. I could play that. Do, do, do. I knew the exact tones. I could play them on my trumpet. My friends and I love that movie. We used to just sit and watch it. Yeah, semantics. Anyway, yeah, that was good. All right, I also one night when I come in, I want to do sci-fi movies. I want to go and talk about the top 50 sci-fi movies. I think it would be fun, and I want to see if we can come up with one that's our favorite here on the chat. My only problem rating sci-fi movies is you've got Star Trek and non-Star Trek, you've got Star Wars and non-Star Wars. It's very hard to do a rating on like what's the best sci-fi movie. And you know how most places do it? They take all the Star Trek and Star Wars movies out. Because if you're a Star Wars guy, there's your number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right there. If you're a Star Trek guy, there's 1 through 10 right there. So it really doesn't work. It's kind of hard to do that because, truthfully, if you're a real Trekkie, I mean, those movies are amazing. Most of them. There's 1 or 2 that's fair, but there's so many other good ones out there. Like Stargate had an originating movie with Kurt Russell, and then it also had 2 movies after, Ark of the Covenant, and I forget the name of the other one. All 3 of those are excellent movies. Not to mention the 17 seasons of television that's been made under the name of Stargate, which in my opinion is the second best television franchise ever, Stargate. Um, yeah, I'm going to look for that. I'm going to be putting up stuff, and if I can find video, especially on, I'm going to do one over there where I'm going to try to put up some videos. Um, I know, and you know what, Dom? They might be right. It might confuse the public, but what we got now is confusing the public. What we got now is confusing the public because Charlie hit is a Cat 4. Katrina hit is a Cat 3. Katrina did 5 times the damage, and it was one category lower. So that's why I said it just doesn't work. You like up to what? You mean it's a 5'9"? Every contest I work, everybody's a 5'9". I can barely hear you. I have to call you 7 times. You're 5'9". Hams, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's see here. Guys, I'm coming up on 2 hours. Is there anything else you'd like me to discuss tonight before I sign off? I will have streams going up in the morning. I'm just too tired tonight. I'm gonna get up in the morning when my brain is fresh, and I'm going to put up 6, 7. I don't know. I'm gonna put up as many of them as I can get up before I have to leave. I'm gonna go up. I got to go up to the hospital tomorrow about 11, and then I stay with Mom until I go to work at 3. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to talk about Star Trek one night and just do a big old Star Trek night, but the problem is there's a lot of people that just aren't into Star Trek. The you know, but there's a lot of people that are. It's the largest television franchise in the world. Um, all right, guys. Yeah, we'll see what we can find. That center video I've had up for you tonight has 25 different views of the beach, and there's nothing to see. It's dark. There's because of the I don't know if you guys realize it, because of turtle nesting and about 5 other reasons, you can't have lights on the beach. We don't have any bright lights on the beach. In fact, some of our beaches are lit by red street lights. They're kind of cool, actually. Um, Yeah, let's do that. I love sci-fi stuff, and that's part of the channel's genre is sci-fi shows and movies. That's listed as one of our 7 things that we do here, so I definitely want to do that. All right, guys, the bottom line on this storm again is it's not going to make any radical turns. We know where it's going to go. Um, well, and see, that's where the third number comes in. The third number is the surge number because the surge is what kills. Um, we had 2 hurricanes go by. They were 100 miles offshore, and both of them put 19 inches of water in my mother's home. But they were 100 miles offshore. So that's why I said it's got to be rotational wind speed, size of the storm, surge potential. But now you're getting real confusing. I don't know. We'll think about this one. Let's sleep on it. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow out there. I hope everybody does have a good night out there. Like I said, the good news is we're not going to end up with this one hitting anywhere. And it looks tonight like the 2 that are behind it are actually not that impressive right now. They look like they're going to go, and so we may be 20 days out before even the possibility of a strike at this point in along the United States. So that's that actually is sounds pretty good right now, considering we're only a few days. In a few days, we'll be in September, and that's the busiest month of the year. Don't fall under the illusion that hurricane season is in the summer. It's actually in the second half of summer and the first half of fall. Yep. So everybody, have a good night out there. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures, and I'm live in North Fort Myers. I'll be live again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern right here. We talk about everything: hurricanes, space weather, tornadoes, all kinds of terrestrial weather, science, amateur radio, radio propagation, and science fiction. And we love to talk about all kinds of cool stuff here. Join us for stimulating conversation nearly every night. I do take Saturdays off usually, but I'm here nearly every night if I can be. And we try to do at least 2 hours. And I hope to see you guys on one of our next shows. Please give us that subscribe and that thumbs up. It makes such a big difference out there. Tell your friends about the channel. That makes an even bigger difference. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel, right back here on Starship Adventures on YouTube, the largest broadcast platform in the world. Everybody have a good night out there. My name's Ian, 7 3s.